Now, we had this vehicle pushed into our shop today for a no start situation. We want to go ahead and talk about this and our top 5 problems on our 3rd gen Acura MDX. Now, the top 5 problems we're going to go ahead and discuss with this vehicle are going to require a lot of diagnostics. So here's our tech tip to get started. Make sure the vehicle has a good quality charged battery, as you're going to need that for your scan tool. Let's go ahead and get into it. Number 1 on our top 5 is going to be a hard shifting, accompanied by a flashing D4 displayed up on the gauge cluster. Now, after we were able to charge up our battery, we found code P0 700, 730, 740, 780. Now, it didn't just end there. You could have a P1768 as well stored in that computer. Now, there's good news and bad news. The good news is it could be something as simple as a sensor that needs to be replaced, or you have dirty transmission fluid that needs to be taken care of. The bad news is, depending on how long that transmission fluid has been bad or not serviced, you could have a bad transmission requiring a rebuild or replacement. Now, number 2 is going to be a check engine light accompanied by a running rough and a hard start. Now, that's going to take us under the hood. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, right here is the EGR valve. That is the exhaust gas recirculation unit. Now, what happens here is there is a valve inside that opens and closes, and the carbon buildup from the exhaust can build up, causing this valve to stick open or closed, causing the symptoms you're experiencing. Now, you may also be experiencing poor fuel economy. There could be some hesitation or stalling caused by that EGR. Now, in most cases, they can be cleaned, but depending on the mileage of the vehicle, you just want to go ahead and replace it at that point there. Now, if you find yourself needing any other parts for this vehicle or any other vehicle, go ahead and check us out at oneauto.com. Problem number 3, well, you guessed it, it's going to start with a check engine light, and that's going to be a code P0505. And this is going to be something that has a surging or a uneven idle, maybe even a stalling, accompanied by some poor fuel economy. Let's go ahead and see what's going to be causing that. Now, what we're going to be looking at right here is the idle air control, also known as the IAC valve. Now, this can be dirty or just faulty, causing that code P0505. What you may be also looking for is a vacuum leak from a gasket where the throttle body attaches to the intake. It could be an intake unit itself gasket leak from the upper plenum or the lower plenum. And you also may be looking for a vacuum leak from a rubber hose that is dry rotted or split. You want to go ahead and check all of that there and then replace what's needed. Well, number 4 is going to be a check engine light with a code P1457. That's going to direct us to the rear of the vehicle above the differential where our charcoal canister resides. Now, right up here, we can locate our charcoal canister, and on the back side, we have the vent solenoid. Now, what happens with this here is that it gets stuck in the open or the closed position, causes a problem with our drivability, such as our fuel economy and our starting issue. You want to go ahead and simply remove and replace this component, and that should solve your issue. Now, this is the 5th and final one you've been waiting for, and this is the one with the no start symptom. Now, this can be a myriad of components that could have failed, and what we're going to start with is number 1 is going to be the fuel system. Number 2 is going to be the starter. Number 3, ignition system. Number 4, alternator. And number 5 is a dead battery. Now, what we found in our particular vehicle was that the alternator had failed. That in turn killed the battery. Once we replaced that alternator and battery, we were able to start up the vehicle, check it for codes, and make sure there was no other issues. Hopefully this helped you out on our top 5 problems with the MDX.